Living in Reseda, there's a freeway.
Before becoming America's straight-shooting rock troubadour, Tom Petty was music's most discerning critic, a no-nonsense purist with laser-focused convictions about what guitar playing should be and a legendary intolerance for what he considered empty virtuosity.
I like it more when the groups actually play something. You know, it's not as entertaining seeing 5 singers in sweaters as it is, you know.
Tom didn't just dislike certain guitarists. He took their playing as a personal affront to rock and roll. Heartbreakers guitarist Mike Campbell reportedly confided in 2018. While most musicians were diplomatic about their contemporaries, Tom would analyze exactly how they'd betrayed the instrument, then dismiss them entirely. Today, we're counting down the 6 guitarists that allegedly drove the passionate rocker to his breaking point. The players that made the usually laid-back Petty abandon his Californian cool and launch into legendary tirades that industry insiders still reference years after his passing. Prepare for the definitive ranking of the guitarists that pushed the American icon to his limit, the ones he criticized, mocked, and above all, reportedly viewed as betraying the sacred covenant between guitarist and audience. Number 6. Eddie Van Halen. When Eddie Van Halen revolutionized guitar technique in the late 1970s, Petty reportedly viewed him as the harbinger of everything that would go wrong with rock guitar. Flash over feeling, technique over truth, and virtuosity for its own sake. Eddie can play 1,000 notes a minute, but can he play one that matters? Tom supposedly asked during a Heartbreakers rehearsal in 1978 after someone played Van Halen's debut album. It's like being impressed by someone who talks really fast without saying anything worth hearing. What few realize is that Petty's contempt went beyond aesthetic disagreement. According to roadies who worked with both acts, Tom would reportedly turn down backstage monitor speakers if Van Halen was playing nearby venues, once allegedly muttering, "All that technique and not one song about anything real. What's the point?" The tension reportedly intensified after both acts performed at festivals together in the early 1980s. Witnesses claim Petty watched part of Van Halen's set with a pained expression, afterward reportedly telling drummer Stan Lynch, "That's not rock and roll. That's a circus act with amplifiers." The guitars become the main attraction instead of serving the song. Eddie, known for his generally affable nature, supposedly attempted to strike up a conversation with Petty backstage at a radio station event, only to receive what one witness described as the cold shoulder heard round the music world. According to sources, Tom allegedly responded to Eddie's technical questions with, "I'm more interested in writing songs people actually remember than solos that impress other guitarists." According to Heartbreakers keyboardist Benmont Tench, Petty would occasionally reference Van Halen during recording sessions as the standard to avoid, reportedly saying, "If you're thinking about how difficult something is to play rather than how it makes people feel, you've already lost the plot." Number 5. Ingui Malmstein, Swedish neoclassical shredder. Ingui Malmstein reportedly represented everything Petty despised about the direction of guitar playing in the 1980s. Technique elevated to the point of self-parody with little emotional connection to the listener. Tom viewed Malmsteen as the final nail in rock guitar's coffin, Heartbreakers bassist Ron Blair allegedly revealed. He'd say, "Ingui plays the guitar like it's a competitive sport. Music isn't a competition, it's communication." What music historians rarely discuss is the alleged backstage encounter at a music festival in 1986. According to witnesses, Malmsteen was warming up with his characteristic arpeggios within earshot of the Heartbreakers' dressing room, prompting Petty to reportedly comment, "Sounds like someone strangling a cat that swallowed a calculator. Is that supposed to move people?" The animosity reportedly intensified after guitar magazines began featuring Malmsteen's technique-heavy approach on their covers. During a particularly candid radio interview in 1987, Petty allegedly responded to a comparison with, "I play guitar to serve songs. He plays songs, barely, to serve his guitar playing. We're not even in the same profession." Petty's private conversations with producer Jeff Lynne reportedly contained blistering assessments of the neoclassical movement Malmsteen spearheaded. They've turned the most emotionally direct instrument into the most emotionally distant, Tom supposedly stated. Bach had something to say. These guys just have something to prove. Perhaps the most surprising entry on Petty's list of guitar adversaries was Guns N' Roses' Axeman Slash, a blues bass player whose melodic sensibilities might seem aligned with Tom's own values, yet reportedly earned his particular ire. Tom viewed Slash as style over substance, drummer Stan Lynch allegedly revealed. He'd say, the hat, the cigarette, the Les Paul, it's a carefully constructed image selling the idea of authenticity without the actual lived experience behind it. The rivalry reportedly intensified during the late 1980s when both acts were achieving massive commercial success. According to Geffen Records executives, Petty would bristle at comparisons between his straightforward approach and Slash's more flamboyant style, once allegedly commenting, "The difference is, I'm selling songs, he's selling a Guitar Hero fantasy." What particularly irked Petty, according to those close to him, was what he perceived as Slash's calculated image. Tom thought it was manufactured rebellion, photographer Mark Seliger supposedly recalled from a photo session. He'd say, "We actually lived through the 60s and 70s. These guys are wearing the uniform without serving in the trenches." Their paths crossed at several industry events, creating what one backstage crew member described as mutual assessment. When Guns N' Roses opened for the Rolling Stones, Petty allegedly commented to his band, "They're playing dress up as rock stars. We're still trying to be musicians." Number 3. Kirk Hammet. Few fans realized that behind Petty's laid-back persona lurked a particular contempt for Metallica guitarist Kirk Hammett's approach, an aesthetic difference that reportedly became a personal crusade against what he saw as technique obscuring emotion. Tom believed guitar solos should tell stories, Heartbreakers guitarist Mike Campbell allegedly revealed. He'd say, "Kirk plays like he's being paid by the note. More notes never equal more feeling, usually it's the opposite." Petty's disdain reportedly extended beyond Hammett's technique to the entire metal genre he represented. According to those who toured with him in the early 1990s, Tom viewed Metallica's approach as the triumph of intensity over intimacy, once allegedly telling his band, "They're not trying to connect with you, they're trying to overwhelm you. That's not conversation, that's assault." The animosity allegedly intensified when both acts were featured on the same festival bill in 1992. Tom reportedly watched parts of Metallica's set, afterward allegedly telling drummer Stan Lynch, "It's impressive in the same way a jackhammer is impressive. Effective at what it does, but would you want to listen to one for pleasure?" What particularly troubled Petty was Hammett's wah pedal dependency. He couldn't comprehend the reliance on effects, tour manager Richard Fernandez allegedly told biographers. Tom would say, "When you're saying something meaningful, you don't need to run it through a filter. The wah-wah is just there to make empty playing sound interesting." In a particularly telling anecdote, Petty reportedly reviewed Metallica's self-titled Black album at a producer's request, listening intently before allegedly saying, "It's like they've discovered how effective simplicity can be, but they're still hiding behind the speed and distortion. They're halfway to actually communicating." If you're enjoying this deep dive into Tom Petty's secret guitar opinions, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. We uncover the music industry's most shocking feuds and the stories mainstream documentaries won't tell you. Subscribe now to make sure you never miss our weekly exposés on the feuds, fights, and secret animosities that shaped the music you love. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. The music history they don't want you to know continues right after this. Number 2. Joe Satriani. Petty's well-documented disdain for instrumental guitar virtuoso Joe Satriani transcended mere musical criticism. It was the entire concept of guitar as lead instrument that reportedly offended Tom's core values about rock and roll's purpose. Tom thought Satriani represented everything wrong with where guitar was heading, producer Rick Rubin allegedly revealed in 2016. He'd say, "Guitar without vocals is like a conversation where one person does all the talking. Eventually, you tune out." The tension reportedly began after Satriani's Surfing with the Alien became a surprise hit in 1987. According to witnesses, Petty was appalled by what he perceived as the album's emotional emptiness, allegedly telling guitarist Mike Campbell, "Without lyrics, what is he actually trying to say? That he can play fast? That's not communication, that's just showing off." What fans don't realize is that Petty reportedly refused to attend guitar-focused events where Satriani was featured, despite multiple invitations throughout the 1990s. According to his management team, Tom allegedly stated, "Those aren't concerts, they're trade shows. They're selling the idea that technique matters more than songwriting." In a particularly revealing moment, Petty reportedly listened to Satriani's "Flying in a Blue Dream" at a friend's insistence, observing silently for several tracks before allegedly saying, "It's the musical equivalent of someone who talks impressively but says nothing. All vocabulary and no actual content." The animosity wasn't entirely one-sided. When asked about songwriters in a 1992 interview, Satriani supposedly praised several of Petty's contemporaries, while notably omitting Tom, prompting Petty to allegedly comment to his band, "He probably doesn't consider what I do impressive enough. Good. I'd rather be understandable than impressive." Number 1. The Edge. The top spot on Petty's list of guitar grievances was reportedly occupied by U2's innovative guitarist, The Edge, a contempt so pure that it allegedly became something of an ongoing commentary throughout the Heartbreakers' career. According to those close to him, Tom viewed The Edge's effects-laden approach as the triumph of technology over talent. Tom believed a guitarist should sound like themselves unplugged. Heartbreakers drummer Stan Lynch allegedly revealed in a rare 2015 interview. He'd say, "The Edge wouldn't even be recognizable without his pedal board. That's not playing guitar. That's programming a computer with 6 strings." What most fans don't realize is that Petty's animosity reportedly began after hearing U2's breakthrough album The Joshua Tree in 1987. According to witnesses, he listened in stunned silence before allegedly declaring, "This isn't guitar playing, it's sound design." He's found a way to make limited ability sound innovative through technology. The criticism extended to every aspect of The Edge's approach. During guitar overdubs, Petty would reportedly use him as a cautionary example, once allegedly telling Mike Campbell, "Remember, effects should enhance what you're playing, not replace what you're not playing. Don't hide behind them like our friend from Dublin." Their paths crossed at several industry events throughout the 1980s and 90s, creating what one attendee described as polite musical tension. When The Edge attempted to discuss guitar tones with Campbell while Tom was present, Petty allegedly interjected, "Mike gets his sound from his fingers. Where do you get yours from again? Radio Shack?" Most revealing was Petty's reaction to U2's massive success and critical acclaim. According to witnesses at a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame function, when someone praised The Edge's innovative approach, Tom allegedly responded, "Innovation used to mean playing something no one had played before, not buying something no one had bought before." And there you have it, Tom Petty's 6 most despised guitarists. From technical shredders to effects wizards, these players managed to crack the Heartbreakers' laid-back facade and reveal the rock and roll purist beneath. Which of Petty's guitar feuds surprised you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more untold stories from rock's golden age, and smash that like button if you want more legendary countdown videos. Until next time.